Okay, so we are recorded. So good afternoon, and thank you for attending the third of our G Suite webinars. Again, formerly Google Apps for Education. My name is Heather Kowalski, for those of you who don't know me, and I am a half-time technology integration consultant and Google certified trainer for REMC 3, and my other half-time is spent as a math consultant for COP. REMC 3 covers AMA, Core, and COP ESGs. Our topic for today is Google Forms and Google Slides. And so it's up to you, as usual, whether you want to just watch my screen or if you want to have your application open as well and try things as we go. Whichever you choose, feel free to ask questions, share experiences, give feedback, or you can also use the chat feature, which is the little conversation bubble in your toolbar. And if someone else knows the answer to a question, please feel free to respond. Don't be afraid to interrupt, either with your microphone to ask me a question. And again, I am recording this, so I will send this back out to everyone after, as well as post it on our website. I'm sure that everyone is at a different level of knowledge with forms and slides, so there's probably going to be some things I go over that you already know, but I am hopeful that you will learn some features you may not have been aware of. Also, please, if you have a favorite tip, trick, or feature, just share it with us as well. So we're going to go ahead and start with Google Forms. Google Forms is Google's survey application, and with Google Forms, there's a ton of different uses. You can create and analyze surveys, create a quick opinion poll, manage event registrations, create quizzes, and a lot more. Like when you signed up for these webinars, for the webinar series, you actually signed up using a Google form. So to get to a Google form, you can either go to forms.google.com, or if you're logged into Chrome, you simply look for your waffle and you scroll down until you find forms. So I'm going to get this out of my way here. So here's the waffle. It's this 3x3 grid, and so if you click on that and you scroll down, you're looking for forms. Now, if you don't see it right away, like on mine you don't see it right away, you might have to click on this More button on the bottom, and you click on More, and you get some additional applications, and that's where My Forms is located. And not everyone's is in the same order when you click on the waffle. It kind of depends on what you use the most. They kind of move around. The ones you use more often go towards the top. So I'm going to click on Forms. And so when you get to Google Forms, what you see now on my screen is the kind of like landing page. And once you get here, you'll see some different templates that are available. So just like the other applications, we have a template gallery here. And if you click on the arrows, it'll give you some templates that you can look at. This kind of just, I wanted to show you this to give you some different ideas of what you could use forms for. You can see exit ticket, you can do quizzes, assessments, you could even make a worksheet, an evaluation, personal for getting, collecting contact information from people, event RSVPs, different sign-ups, feedback, order forms, job applications. There's just a ton of different uses for Google Forms, and these are just a few ideas. So I wanted to show that to you. And then if you go hit your back arrow up here, you get back to your landing page, and then you'll see this plus symbol, and this is where you are going to go to start a new form. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. And you'll see that an untitled form appears. So to give your form a name, you just click here, and you can change it. So I'm just going to call it webinar. And then if I go up and click here, it will automatically appear on the top as well. So now this is the name of my form, and that's how it will be saved. So I'm saving this as webinar. And then what you're looking for is, well, before I do that, forms are nice because they are available anywhere you have the internet, so you don't have to email it to anybody. You don't have to email it to yourself to always get it. You can actually just say, send out this form by using a link, or you can also you can send it out with email addresses as well. And so if you want to, you have collaborators, so if you're working on a form together, you can have other collaborators, and they can have the ability to edit the form as well. So you can create something together. You can be working on it at different locations at the same time, and then you can both make changes, and you'll see what each other are doing. So that's really nice too. But as a reminder, just like with the other applications, that it does save automatically as you work. So if you have a form that you use over and over again, but you want to save the original, you need to make sure that you make a copy before you change it, because otherwise if you change it, it's just going to save those new changes and you won't have the original anymore. So that is something that's important. And so if you click up here in the right-hand corner in the snowman, right there is where you'll find that make a copy. And so that's nice because it keeps your original, and then you can just make a few changes. Like if you're doing it for an exit ticket, but you wanted to save the responses from a previous one, that would be a nice way to do it. So you just use the same one every time, but just make a new copy. Okay. So, yes, go ahead.
Okay, I was sending you questions. I didn't realize I could just talk to it. Your voice is coming through really scratchy. Is there a way to clear that up?
I'm using my microphone, so it might be your internet connection. I don't know. Is that better?
Yeah. Well,
okay.
I tried
to put it closer. Is that any better?
Maybe it's just the connection. Like
it might just, yeah, it might be the connection. And yes, the forms are existing. Those templates are in everybody's that I showed. Yes, that was your other question.
And then the other question was, how do I set up a window where I can watch what you're doing and do it myself?
Okay, so if you go to minimize, well, actually, if you open your window, can you open one? Go to Chrome on the bottom.
Okay.
So if you go to Chrome on the bottom, so I'm going to do it. So I just went to Chrome. Okay, so you're going to get like this, right? And if you minimize it up here, there's a little square. Sorry. Oops. Is that what I want to do?
Apparently it didn't work on my...
No. Okay, you should be able to minimize it and pull it over so it's like half of your, so that you would still have, can you do that?
Okay, I'll try it.
So then you should be able to see mine.
Okay, I can see yours, but it's not letting me do a new one for me.
So you would still be able to have, you could have yours open and just hear me if you just have yours open on top of mine too.
Okay.
Okay.
Now I lost you.
Okay.
All right, I lost you. How do I get you back?
So if you, your join me should be on the bottom, should have like a green and orange. If you click on that, I think it'll bring it back. Or you might have to go to your Chrome browser on the bottom.
Yeah, I went to my Chrome browser. I think you're back. Do you have a purple?
Yeah, it says webinar. Yes. Yes. Okay. So then also in the snowman, or those three dots to the right, this is where you would also add your collaborators. So if someone was going to work in creating the form with you, that was where you would add that as well. So it says add collaborators, and you can go ahead and change, invite people right here. And you can see that they have the pencil that gives them the ability to edit. So you could go ahead and if you had a coworker that was going to work on this with you, that's where you would add them as someone who can edit. Okay? Okay, so once you have a form, now different things you can do is you can choose a color, theme, or image. So if you click on the color palette up here at the top, gives you different colors, so you can change the color. Or if you want to have an image, there are some pre-made ones. So if I'm doing a sporting event one and I want to have that, I can select that. Or you can also upload your own photos to have in the back. So that's another option. I'm just going to pick a sports one here. So, so you can have images, you can have colors, whatever you would like. And I like to do like, they have a lot of for like fall, winter. That's kind of the ones I usually go with. But those options are there as well. Okay, so now that you have a theme where it says untitled question, this is where you're actually going to type the question that you want to ask. So I might say, do you use Google? Okay, and then I'm going to say yes. And I'm going to say no. And you can add this, as you can see, is a multiple choice question, but you have the ability to change it. So you can do short answer, paragraph, multiple choice, check boxes. You can do a drop down, a rating scale. So there's a lot of different choices there, date, different choices there. And if you choose multiple choice or check boxes, you can actually put up to 1,000 options. So should be plenty for what you need. I don't think anyone needs to have 1,000 choices. So you shouldn't run out. And so you have all those different types of questions that you can have. And then you can also, from here, if you look at the bottom, this is where you can duplicate the question. So if you had a lot of questions with the same answer choices, yes, no, you can keep duplicating it, just change the question instead of adding the answers every time. So you can duplicate a question. Here's where you can also delete a question. You can require the question. So what that means is if you hit required, it won't allow anyone to submit the form until they've answered that question. And then if you click on the snowman, you can write a description, or what's kind of cool is you can have them go to a section based on their answer. So like if my question is, do you use Google? And they choose yes, I might have a different set of questions for those people versus if they choose no, then I'm going to have some other questions for them. So you can have those people who choose yes go to another section, and those who chose no go to something else. That way, it kind of like fits everyone. And then also, like if you're using it for quizzes, you can shuffle the option order. So that means shuffle the answers. So if two kids are taking a quiz next to each other on a computer, they have the same answers but in a different order. So those are all options there. You can also, as you can see, you could add an image for an answer choice. So if you didn't just have words, you do have the option of adding an image. Okay. So there's another toolbar over here on the right. And so this toolbar gives you the options to create another question. That's the plus symbol. So if I were to click that, that's going to give me another question. I can add title and description. I can add an image. I can add a video. And if you add a video, you're going to search it on YouTube. Or if you have a URL, you can put that as well. Or I can add another section. So that's like how I said, this would take, if you answered yes, it would take you to another section. No would take you to a different section. That's where you'd want to use sections. Or you might want to use sections too. If you're giving a quiz, you might have a section for vocabulary. You might have a section for comprehension. You can add different sections in as well. Okay. Any questions so far?
Nope, so far I'm good.
Okay. So once you're satisfied with your form, you have a few options in the settings. So if I click on the gear, I keep having to move my thing here. So here's my gear, which is my settings. And so you have some options here. So you can send it to those people who you would like to respond. I'm going to show you that in a minute. But what you can do is you can collect email addresses if you don't want it to be anonymous. If you want it to be anonymous, obviously you don't want to do that. You can also give people, so if you're collecting email responses, email addresses, then you can also click this, give them an email that says thank you for submitting your form. You can require people to sign in, and you can also limit to just one response so they can't answer the form multiple times. And then you can also give respondents the option to edit after they submit, or down here to see summary charts of all of the people that have submitted. I'm not going to really get into these other top ones, but I'm just going to show you quizzes real quick, because if you make it a quiz, it actually gives you the option to say point values to questions, and then it will automatically grade as well, because you tell it which answer is correct, and so it'll automatically grade the form for you, which is really kind of nice.
So can you still grade the forms if you mix up the answers?
Yes, it still will. Yep, because it'll still know which answer is correct.
Okay.
Okay, so now I'm going to go out of the settings so I can show you how you would share it with people or send it. So there's this big button that says send. So if you click on that, this gives you the option of sending it if you want to email people. So then you'd put their email addresses here and it would send it out to everyone you want to email to. Or what I always do is I just get the shareable link. So I clicked on this link, and then you can shorten it. And then you can take this link, copy it, and paste it in your presentation if you want them to, if you're going to post it up and you want them to go to the link. You could email out this link as well. You could put this link on your website. So there's lots of different ways of sharing it with that link. Okay, so those are the ways that you would share it with them. I'm sorry?
I'm a little confused on this part. So
okay.
If you're sharing it with a link, how do you do every email then to tell them to go to that link?
Yes, or you could just share it. If you're going to email them anyway, you just share it via email. So that's this right here. And you would just put in their email addresses here. Yep.
I guess I was just wondering then, why would you ever share it through a link?
Like, I do the link a lot, actually, because I post it, like if I'm given a presentation, then I put it on my slides, and then people just type it in and go to it right there. They see it up on the big screen. You know what I mean? Or like you could put it so that you're not emailing out to all your students. You could write it on the board, and then they'd all just type in that link, and it would take them right to it. So that's why you'd want to use a link.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
All right. And then I wanted to show you how the responses come in. Okay, so I'm going to go back out of here. Okay, so then once you've shared it and people start answering, so you can see it says questions and then it says responses. Now, obviously, no one has responded to this yet, but so I'll bring up one that I've got some responses to. So it'll say, what I wanted to show you right here is shows accepting responses. So you can actually turn that off at any time. So, like for example, my husband teaches middle school, and so he has the kids vote using a Google form for student council members. And so once the voting ends, he can go in and just turn off the form, and that way no one can go in and continue to vote. And so he actually just, student team has check boxes, kids go in and do the voting, and it tallies all their votes for him. He doesn't have to count ballots, any of that stuff. It's really slick, actually. So I'm just going to pull up like the webinar series one. This is how you guys responded that you want to sign up for this series. And so I'm on the responses, and I'm going to go down a little bit to one of the questions. So this was check boxes, and it was the registration dates. And so you actually get a nice graph with all of the information tallied and percentages for you. So that was a checkbox one. And then I also want to show you, I've used multiple choice rating scales, all sorts, but this was a rating scale. So rate yourself on your knowledge of Gmail, this just was. And you could see how many people rated themselves as a 1 versus how many people rated themselves as a 5. So they really give you nice graphic representations of your answers. And then what's also nice is you can review your responses in Google Sheets. So if you see on your form, kind of looks like a plus symbol, but it's green. And so if you click on that, Your responses all come in a nice Google Sheet, spreadsheet, and it also names it exactly the same as what your form was named. So when you're looking for your responses, you can go ahead and look at that. Okay, and I just hit on graph, that's why they came up. So it's really nice how you get to see your responses. And it happens in real time. So as people are responding, it's calculating it right away, so you can see at any time how many people have answered, what they've chosen. So that's really kind of nice. Okay. Any questions on Google Forms before I move to slides? I know I went through that kind of fast.
I don't know that I can't think of a time when I might use this other than maybe with my team. If we were trying to...
Yeah, you could even use it like when you're trying to find a time to meet. You could send out some dates and they could check which ones work. Yep. Okay. Yep. But teachers use it for, even quizzes, exit tickets. If you're just collecting information, it's kind of nice. And it's nice that it goes onto that sheet, too. So if you wanted to keep track of information for your students, you could have just one form, and every time you get a new student, fill in the information, and it'll all save on the same Google Sheet for you. So it'd be kind of a nice collection of your information, I guess.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to move on to Google Slides. Have about 10 minutes remaining. And Google Slides is Google's equivalent to Microsoft PowerPoint. But just like Docs, it doesn't quite have as many bells and whistles, but it's really, really easy to use, and it's very user-friendly, and it is free. And it is nice because you don't have to save it to a flash drive. You have it anywhere that you have the internet, and actually it has the offline capability as well, so you can even get to them when you're offline. But one thing that I did find is that Google Slides lacks themes or backgrounds for your slides. So I've found SlideCarnival.com that has some really great templates that you can easily open and use with slides. And so I'm going to show you that before we even get into Google Slides. I just want to show you what that website looks like. So it's SlideCarnival.com. And if you go down on the web page, you'll see where it says View All PowerPoint Templates and Google Slides Themes. So I'm going to click on that. And then if I scroll down, you can see all the different ones. And we'll just pick one here. I'll pick this one. This looks like sticky notes on all your slides. So I'm just going to click on that. And then it will say, towards the bottom, it'll say Use as a Google Slides theme. So if you click on it, it automatically has you make a copy. So this is your own copy now that's going to go into your drive. And then it brings it right into your Google Drive. You can change the name to give it whatever title you want. And then the slides are all like pre-made up, which is nice because then you can just go and like change. What you do is you just take away the information they have and put in what you want. But they're set up really nicely. They have nice pictures. And so they're really kind of neat and they're really easy to use. I use them actually all the time now. People are always like, where'd you get that background? It's so cute. And it's like SlideCarnival.com because Google Slides itself doesn't have a lot to choose from. So I just wanted to show you that real quick before I actually go. I'm going to go right into the Google Slides. So to get to Google Slides, again, you'd go to slides.google.com, or if you are logged into Chrome, you have your Waffle, and you'll go to Slides, which is the yellow application. You'll land on the home page. And again, there's templates as well for slides, just like there is with everything else. You can check those out if you want. Lesson plans, projects, presentations, photo albums, all sorts. So you can check out those. But I'm going to go ahead and get right into it. So I'm going to hit the plus sign to start a new slideshow. And then again, you just like always, you click up here on the left to give it a title. So I'll just name it webinar. Oops. Okay.
Now, there is what happened to your slidecarnival.com images that you wanted to put in here?
That was over here. I was just showing you. Now I'm going to show you like how you would start from scratch without that.
Oh, so you don't necessarily have to. So you don't have to embed the Carnival slides into the Google document?
You do if you want to use this. Like if I wanted to use, like this one that I have up now, if I wanted to use this, then I'd just go in and I'd change what's here and put my own stuff in. But I'm just showing you now how to do it without doing it.
So you just save, then you just file save or something like that in order to?
It saves automatically, so this one is already, this one will be saved in my drive. Yep.
Sorry, I forgot that part.
Yep. So if you weren't using a Slides Carnival one, this is what you would, this is what I'm showing now, this is what you would get. And so as you can see, the themes come up and there's not a lot to choose from. It's just what's here. And they're all pretty plain. So that's why I wanted to show you the Slides Carnival, because there's a lot more than what Google Slides actually gives you. So, but you could just choose one of these, which is fine too. So I'm just going to choose this one as Google Slides. So we'll choose this as my theme. And then I gave it a title. And then when you click on a slide from the slide deck, so on the left-hand side, this is called a slide deck. So if I click on this, you'll see up here at the top, if you click more, I'm going to get rid of this, or get rid of that. You'll see that background and layout come up in my toolbar. So this is a little confusing sometimes for people, but background will only change the current slide, and theme will change all of your slides. So so if you're like on, so if I add some slides, they're going to add to the same theme. But if I were to go ahead and click on one and I changed my theme, so let's say I wanted, like I'm thinking I'm only going to do it to that slide, but actually what's going to happen is it's going to change my whole slideshow. That's something to keep in mind. Background changes just the current slide that you clicked on. Theme will change all of them in your slide deck. Okay. And then so you can also add an image if you wanted to the back to your to your background. So if you didn't want to do one of these, you could also add an image. So if you were to click on your slide, and you went to change background, you can go ahead and add an image. So if I wanted to search for an image of a dog, and I could go ahead and have that on the back of my slide. And so you could do that right from background, and I could just have it on that one slide. So you can do that as well. And then I think I already showed you, if you hit the plus symbol, that's how you get a new slide. That will be here. And then in your toolbar, you can insert items. So if you go to insert, this is where you would put a text box. You could add an image, and so you could upload it from your computer, search the web, get it from your drive. You could take a picture. Any of those. You can add charts. You can also add them right from your Google Sheets. Diagrams. Okay. Yes.
Those are only on the one slide you're currently working on?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
That would be on the slide you're currently working on. Yep. Word art, shapes, lines. This is where you would add any of those things. Okay. You can also you have the Explore feature just like you do in Docs down here on the bottom. So you can, right from Docs, go ahead and explore the web. So you don't have to leave to go out to the internet and come back. You can do it right here on the right-hand side. And this is where you would search. So right here, it's like I'm on the internet. I'm right within Docs. So that feature is also available in Google Docs. And then also from your slide deck, you can move slides. So if I decide I want to move this one to the bottom, I just drag it and move it. You can, if you right-click, you can copy a slide. You can, well, you'd copy your whole thing. You could duplicate a slide. So if I duplicate, it's going to give me the exact same one. You can delete a slide from here. You can also change transitions. So just like on PowerPoint where you have stuff fly in, you can do that here as well. So this one right now has no transition, but I can go ahead and have it fade in. I can apply it to all slides so that each time I change my slide, that same thing happens. You can also select an object to animate. So if you have like bullets, all you would do is click on your text box that has the bullets, and then you would select that select on object, and you can fade in on click by paragraph, and by paragraph means each time you have a bullet, it will fade in. Okay.
Okay. So you've obviously made PowerPoints before because
yes.
you're going quite quickly. So
yes.
You're talking about if you had a lot of things typed out on here, you could fade in and out.
Yes. You know, if you have a slide with bullets, just like if you did it in PowerPoint and you have a list of bullets, but when you're giving your presentation, you don't want all the bullets up there at once because you click and you want one to come so you can talk about it in your presentation. Then you click again, and then the next bullet would fade in. Yeah, so it's not all on your slide at one time. Correct.
Right. I've just never done a PowerPoint, so this is all new.
Oh, yep. Yep. And here it's called animations. So, yeah.
Okay. Animations. What now?
Yep, it's called animations. Yep.
That's you had it fade in and out?
Yep. And you have different, you know, you can have it fly in, you can have it appear, disappear. So if you have everything there and you want it to disappear as you talk about it, you can do that as well.
Oh,
yep.
I see.
Yep. Okay.
What was this called on PowerPoint?
It's called, well, it's called transitions.
Transitions, okay.
Yes, yep. Okay, so also Google Slides has the capability for sharing, which is great for students who are doing a presentation and they're all working on it at the same time because they don't all have to be on the same computer. They can all have it up, be working at the same time. And what's also nice is, as a teacher, when you share, you have the options for viewing, commenting, or editing, just like in Google Docs. So if you're working on it with someone, so I'm going to click the share button here. And when I share, I'll enter their email address. And here with the pencil, that means they can edit. So we would work on it at the same time. We both can make changes. We could both delete. We could both add. That's what editing is. Commenting is nice for if you're like looking at a student's presentation, but you want to give them suggestions they're not finished, you can just have commenting rights. And so then you can put, like, I think this slide needs more details. You can just add the comment, or viewing is just view only. So if I were to add a comment, so up here next to share, there's this comments button, and I'm going to add a comment. So I would say, add more details. And comment. So then when the student went in, now they're going to see my comment here. And so they're going to, oh, Ms. Kowalski thinks I need more details on this slide. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And once I do it, I can hit resolve and that comment will go away. So it's kind of a nice collaboration tool. Okay, I might be over the time here, so I'm going to try and quickly wrap up. The very last thing that I want to tell you about this is that it does have that offline capability. So you can add the Google Slides app to your phone. And from the Chrome Web Store, if you go to your Chrome browser and add the Google Drive application, then when you're offline, you have the ability to go and to still work on your slides. And then when you get back up online, they will, they'll be refresh. They'll refresh and they'll be back there. so like if you were working together with it on someone, obviously if you were to edit offline, they can't see it until you connect to the internet, and then they could see your changes. So in your slides, I'm just going to go back to the home page, and I'm going to go to settings, and then there is this offline, and if you you want to click this over so that it's blue. Oops, no, I just disabled it. And so then it's going to give you, oh, it's disabling it right now for me, that offline capability. So you want to make sure that you have that clicked, and then you'll be able to view it while you are offline.
Okay, then whenever you go and are online, how do you get it online again then?
It'll automatically update once you're online.
Okay.
Yep. Now it's frozen. And so that's really kind of a nice feature. So I guess we are out of time, but I will be back on February 21st for uploading files and organizing your Google Drive. But if you have any questions, I'll stick around for a little bit to answer them. And you can always email me. And as always, I will email out the webinar. But thank you for joining, and I hope that you enjoyed it.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And before you hang up, I shared